Come with the Metal Podcast, they sing Mike for stopping. Cause they're the big balls that drop the hot topics. So short, be more dumb, you just stay ready. For DJ Boom, Shaheem, and or Debbie. Put them together, there's a treacherous string. From the tri-state area to the DMV. So sit back, relax, get your Sundays on. On after morning, gone before dawn. That positive vibe, that we so strong. With this podcast show, you can't go wrong. So, here we go, here we go.
What's up, everybody? What's up? It's good to see everybody back with us again at From the Shore to Be More. I am the one and only, the original Shaheem.
Go ahead.
I'm Debbie.
She always trying to be so cute about it. I'm the official DJ Boom here in the building, making it do what it do when it needs to be done. Happy Sunday to everybody. And I'm going to go right into it right now because I know my cousins' feelings is hurting real bad for the results of last night's game.
I was going to bring it up. I want to shout out the New York Giants. They had a decent season this year after so many down seasons. But last night was a total embarrassment. They went down to the city of Philadelphia, the city of Brother Love, and got their butts kicked. It was ugly. It was I turned.
He said,
I was turned. It was total embarrassment. Hopefully, I'm sure we're going to have a better year next year. But, yeah, that sucked.
Shout out to them, though. I'm sure they played to the best of their abilities.
No, they didn't. But that's beside the point.
Right.
When we play Philadelphia, we take the bus down there. We don't get on planes like when we travel across the country to play other teams. So we took the bus down there. I'm sure it was a long, quiet bus ride back. It was ugly. I would have hated to be on that bus. I would say, you know what, fellas? I think I'm just going to take the train.
I'll get an Uber. They got the money for it. Get an Uber and go home.
Get an Uber or something, because that had to be a horrible bus ride back home. Oh, man, it was tough. It was tough.
That is funny.
But shout out to my New York Giants. I love them anyway.
We'll throw them some
Yeah. I'm really
just sitting back waiting for the 49ers.
Today, everybody, we're going to be talking about side hustles and your passions and things. But before we get into that, I want to acknowledge last week's show on apologies. I thought that was a really good show. I'm hoping you guys got a lot out of it. We put a lot into it. Yeah, it was a really great show. So you can go back and listen to it. You can catch us on all streaming platforms. I don't want to go down the list for everybody again because there's so many, but you can catch us everywhere. And so go back and catch the show. I encourage you to do that if you're interested. Also, before we jump into it, I want to recognize that it's the first day of the Chinese Lunar New Year today. So Happy New Year to all the Asian families out there celebrating New Year today. I believe it's the year of the rabbit. And that represents good luck. And I'm looking forward to some good luck this year. I really, really, really am. And I'm sure we all are.
It is already manifesting itself for me. So I'm excited about what 2023 has in store and beyond.
Good. I am too. I'm feeling it. I'm already off to a good start, so I'm feeling it. I don't know who came up with these animals and the rabbits and the luck and everything, but I'm on board for this one.
Auntie can tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm sorry. I mean, so the Western system goes by the sun, which is a masculine principle. The Asian Chinese system goes by the moon, which is a feminine.
Interesting.
And so we live with both the solar, the masculine, and the moon, the feminine, which resides in all of us. So we got a good balance.
And we need balance in the universe, that's for sure. I was reading up on I was reading up on some of the traditions that the Asian families do on the day, and there's some are really beautiful. Along with the firecrackers and the dragon dance and stuff, I saw that there was this thing with flowers that they do. Of course, everybody eats when they celebrate. So I'm sure everybody's enjoying some delicious meals today. Man, I wish I was a part of that. I ain't gonna kid you. I would sit right down and pick up my chopsticks and be going right at it with them. And yes, I do know how to use chopsticks, people.
I don't.
Show us, show us.
Well, not right now. I don't have one, but I will in the future, though. That sounds like a challenge, so I will in the future.
The chopstick challenge.
And I'll tell you what I learned, and then we can move on. I learned how to use chopsticks in a Chinese restaurant in Chinatown, New York. For those people who love Chinese food, the food that you get in Chinatown is not like your local Chinese restaurant. No, it is not. It is fresh, authentic Chinese food. The restaurant that I went to, they had chairs, but you had the option of sitting on pillows around with your family, around the small table and everything. They would hand you chopsticks. You could ask for a fork if you wanted it, but they would hand you chopsticks. And the waitress, before she would begin, would give you, a tutorial on how to use the chopsticks. Yeah, and that's how I learned. It was a beautiful experience. And so I would encourage anybody, if they have the opportunity, to go to Chinatown and get some of that food. It is delicious. Don't be scared about the ducks you see hanging in the window. It's some of the shops.
Well, they are cooked. They're dead.
Cooked. Yeah,
they're dead ducks and they're cooked.
Yeah. But yeah, they're hanging up there. But don't be frightened by that. The food is delicious.
I don't like
what's the duck?
Yeah, I haven't had the duck. I didn't do that.
It's delicious. A little fatty, but delicious. It's fattier than chicken, but oh God, so good.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like ducks.
I will definitely try it. I will definitely try it the next time I go. So yeah, people, if you love Chinese food like I do, it is a beautiful experience. So yeah, travel to Chinatown.
And I'm one of those folks that have tried the chopsticks. I'm not doing chopsticks. Pass me a fork, or I'll just use my hand. Either or. I'm just not using chopsticks.
I can use it. I might not be a pro at it, but I can use it. I'm saying I'm not a pro at it because I've seen certain people pick up a grain of rice with these two sticks. That's how sweet they are with this.
That's what
pick up a grain of rice with it.
What we do in America is we use a fork and a spoon.
We do, but listen, it's a beautiful experience. Like I said, if people have a chance to go, please go support the Asian community. They can really use our support right now. So happy Chinese New Year again.
You know the name of the restaurant
that I went to? It was a few years ago, so I don't remember right offhand. But there's a number of them. There is a number of them there, and so I'm sure you can find one that's to your liking.
Might have to check that out.
It is a good experience. I really recommend it. But with New York City, there's so much to do.
Right. There's a lot. Absolutely.
Oh man, there is a lot to do, and that's the beauty of it all. While we're talking about the Asian community, I want to also recognize the mass shooting that took place in California yesterday at one of these celebrations. Horrible. And here we are again. And we talked about violence in America and gun violence and things before on the show. But yet here we are yet again in the Asian community. They were, from my understanding, because I don't know the whole story, but they were celebrating the incoming New Year last night at a celebration. And some gunmen entered the place and started shooting people. And from my understanding, 10 people were killed and many other people were injured. My condolences to all the families out there. My heart bleeds with you guys. It seems like sometimes the most beautiful events can bring out the worst in people. I don't understand what this was about. But again, my condolences to the families out there. We're grieving with you.
Well, that's news to me. As you guys know, I do not partake in the news. So I had heard nothing about it until right now. So definitely my condolences to the families and victims of of that event, but I'm not even going to go into my theory on what be happening with these things. So I just feel bad for the people that got to get caught up in the nonsense.
Yeah, it was horrible. My understanding that there was children at this event too.
Right.
It was horrible. It was really bad. But if I'm going to recognize that, I also have to recognize the shooting that took place in the Walmart. I think in was it North or South Carolina? Well, in the South, 2 days ago too. Luckily, it wasn't a mass one because of the employees at the local police. They managed to corral the shooter, and I think there was only one victim. But again, here we are in America with more senseless gun violence. Again, my condolences to all the families.
Mine as well. Another thing I didn't hear about until right now. So
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a busy week in terms of violence this week in America. I won't get into it. The show's not about that, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard to not bring it up.
yeah,
it's hard to not bring it up.
I understand. I definitely understand. That's all I got. It's actually becoming truly annoying. And especially when you feel like there's really nothing that you can physically do about it, it's to hear about it just becomes annoying. You know?
And it affects us in so many different ways. I mean, for me, it makes me very uncomfortable when I'm out now, and when I'm out shopping, or even going to. We haven't been in the movie theater in I don't know how long.
There's really no reason to go now with all the movies being you be able to sit at home and watch them.
I still enjoy going to the theater. Well, I used to, but now I find myself sitting in the dark, looking around at the people around me constantly. You know, scared of someone jumping up with a gun. But it's not just movie theaters. When I'm shopping, when I'm out anywhere with this mass crowd, I'm constantly looking at everybody like, oh, I better keep an eye on that guy. Oh, ooh, I gotta look to. And life didn't used to be like that in this country. And it's so sad.
Well, I don't think about it. You know, it's like getting on a plane. I wouldn't say, "Oh my God, I love to fly." I'd rather just be there. The Star Trek thing, beamed across. But once I decide to go, I don't think about the tragedy. And so when I go, if I'm going shopping, I always want to watch my back. I have a way of carrying my purse and reaching for my money. I don't well, I do say hello to strangers, maybe,
Right.
but there is something that we can do. You know, violence, there's always a few that express the energy of the masses. So even though these might be single people, in some ways they reflect the violence of our leadership and perhaps of people generally. And so what I can do is I can turn up the love. I can do something creative. I can watch if I start having, and then in my mind, grudges in my mind, I could make my heart a place of peace. And that is a powerful something that we can do. And there'd be more violence if there wasn't as much love. The love does outweigh the violence. It does.
Well said.
I agree.
Well said. Yeah,
I
well
agree.
said.
I keep saying that's my motto for being a DJ. It's bringing love back to the party. So I understand the whole violence thing. I feel like because I watch these different shows, and well, like I said, don't want to get too far off topic, but because I watch these crime shows and things happening every day, I now have a couple of stalkers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It has me thinking. I'm not running around paranoid, but it has me thinking. So they're playing on my phone, in my Instagram, my inbox, and I'm trying to figure out how to get my number to be unlisted but listed, so to speak, because obviously I'm a DJ. How people gonna call me if they can't reach me? Emails work, I know that, but emails a little bit slower than calling. With DJing, you kind of want instant gratification than waiting for somebody to respond to an email or a text. So it has me concerned.
To that point, I think there are call screening services or apps that you can get or something like that. Something along. I know there's different things that you can do. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into all of those things because it's starting to get to a point of annoyance. Before I become violent, I don't want to. I just don't want to take it there with nobody. So I just rather start to take these precautions and do what I need to do to get this alleviated.
Well, hopefully you get it under control soon. And speaking of DJing, I know DJing is not your side hustle, but it is your passion.
Actually, DJing was my side hustle.
Okay.
It absolutely was. I was a full-time site manager for Anne Arundel County Public Schools here in Maryland.
Okay.
I started DJing, and some months in, I went to my boss and told him I'm quitting. He was like, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm gonna just DJ." He said, "What?" You say things like that, and people are like, "What? What? You gonna DJ?" Da da da. So yeah, that was 9 years ago. Now 2023, 9 years ago that I did that, and I've been DJing full time ever since. I haven't had a regular, 9-to-5 job, but it started out as my side hustle.
What's your side hustle now?
Oh, my side hustle now on top of DJing is hanging TVs and that sort of stuff, putting up networking, running networks to people's houses and things of that nature. I do all that type of stuff on the side, but primarily I'm a DJ. That's what I do 24/7.
I know a lot of people who got 9-to-5 jobs and are doing something extra to make that little bit of extra money. Got that little side hustle going on for a number of reasons. Some people, they're passionate about a particular thing. They're just pursuing something else in their free time. And for some people, they just kind of make that extra money to make ends meet. It's a tough time out there, man. Every time I go to the food store, I mean, I know the prices are high, but I'm still floored when I get that receipt, man. I mean, I'm floored. It's incredible. I mean, it's taking up so much of the...
You're walking out with 3 bags of groceries and like, what is this?
It is crazy. I mean, for food to be taking up so much of your budget in today's world is crazy to me. My wife and I, thank God, we're fine. We're doing okay. But I wonder about so many people out there that are struggling. And so most people that I know do have a side hustle. Now, me, I do have a side hustle. I have a 9-to-5 job. Everybody knows that. But I do other things on the side. My job is in construction. I don't want to tell the name of the company or anything like that because they don't pay me to do that.
Yeah.
But
right.
When I get home from work, yeah, I do have a side hustle. Sometimes my side hustle is simple as selling things on Marketplace. I sell a lot of things on Marketplace. And so that's a side hustle for me. I also do side jobs. People ask constantly these days, "Oh, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me?" Knowing that you're a handy person. And so sometimes that's a side hustle for me. Not my passions, but they bring in that little extra money. My passions are what I'm doing now. This podcast is one of my passions. Music is definitely my passion, always has been. And I'm so happy to be doing it again after so many years away from it. But your passion can be your side hustle too.
Right. And being a DJ in this industry, I see a lot of people doing the side hustle, which is DJing for a lot of people and bartending and serving for a lot of
that's good.
Because they have a regular 9-to-5 job and then they get off that job and they come bartend or serve a lot of the places where I DJ, where I have a residency. So I see the side hustle, and a lot of people, as we were alluding to it when we first discussed doing the show, there are a lot of women that have stepped up and they're doing what they have to do to make ends meet for them and their children, or even just for themselves. They're not sitting back waiting on nobody to do anything for them. And for that, I apologize, because I see the struggle sometimes. in their eyes. You could tell they tired, and especially nurses, because nurses do it too. A nurse would be, you work 12 hours and then you leave and come to the little bar and you bartend for a couple hours, blah 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 blah, just to make ends meet. So yeah, listen, I see it. I see it out here.
And shout out to all the single moms out there.
For sure.
And
Single dads too.
And dads too, yeah.
They don't get enough respect.
No.
Because of the stereotype of it's always the mom being left with the kids. But I know a few dads that are
one
or raising their children themselves.
And I know one too, and he goes through all the same struggles that single moms do with daycare and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, right. Shout out to all the single dads. Now, I think, well, I can remember even as a kid, adults having side hustles. Everybody remembers that guy who used to fix cars in his driveway, or here's a side hustle y'all might remember from back. Go ahead.
I'm that guy.
That was you. Oh, changing brakes or doing whatever, to make that little extra money. I can remember them back in the day. Back in the day, sometimes you could pay them with a bucket of chicken and some beer. Pack of cigarettes.
Right.
Another side hustle from back in the day, and maybe you guys can remember this, but when I was younger, people used to throw rent parties.
Yeah, I remember those.
To try to make up.
You old, Shaheen, you old.
Yes, I am, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, rent parties.
Remember that? When I was a kid, people used to throw rent parties. They be short on that rent, boy. They would open up that house, turn on that music, get that food going.
Your resources. Use your resources, absolutely. How can I make some money? I got a radio and I got a house. Let's make this happen.
I think because of circumstances in this country, our people were probably natural hustlers. They had to make it.
Right.
They had to make it. And they taught us how to do it.
Some of us,
yeah. Correct. I agree.
Some folks need to not try to be a hustler. They just need to go get a 9 to 5 and go to work every day. Because you just don't have what it takes to be a hustler.
What does it take to be a hustler?
A lot of grit. A lot of sacrifice, what my boss was pertaining to when he said you're going to quit to go DJ is the whole benefits. Everybody lives off benefits, and like benefits is going to be blah, 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 blah. It takes a lot of courage to say to hell with those benefits. You know what I mean? My benefit for me is I'm happy. I'm happy doing what I do every day. You know what I mean? I look forward to going to the baby showers and the weddings and the my weekly spots that I go to and having people sing. I look forward to it, even though they drive me nuts with the karaoke. But I still look forward to going, just being out and socializing. So to me, that's my benefit. So now I have to take extra steps to get those benefits that they're talking about because the company paid for their benefits.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, I have to take extra steps, but I still can get the benefits. It's just it takes a lot of grit and intestinal fortitude to be a hustler for real.
I've never had benefits when I was younger. And every now and then I would think, oh, what are you doing? You should get a real job and have benefits. But I think if I had a real job, which for me probably would have been in corporate America because I was good with typing and the computers, I think I'd be, I would have been more sick. I would have needed the benefits. As it was, I never really needed benefits. Now, I'm not suggesting that folk give up their benefits and do what I did because it's not. What you got to say, Boom? What you say?
No, I would say me either. I'm not suggesting that.
Yeah, we're not saying quit your job because there are certain attributes or characteristics of a hustler. What are they, guys? What are the characteristics of a hustler?
Well, I think you named some good ones. You gotta have some drive. You got to have some get up and go. That's first and foremost. You cannot be lazy and expect to make it in this world. Period. I'm going to say that. And I want to reiterate something real fast too. Yeah, both my co-hosts were right. Don't quit your jobs because we are not coming to pay your bills.
Exactly. And don't send me an email talk about a Facebook Messenger. Talk
Ain't
about
gonna
you
happen.
quit your job and you need some. You need to go see a dentist because I'm not
Ain't
going to
gonna
pay.
happen. I think a lot of hustling comes from what we're taught at home. My parents were hustlers. My mom had to work hard. She had 5 of us and was single for a good part of her life. And so she had to hustle, man. I watched my mother work hard, and I think some of that, was instilled in me, to get out there and make it happen. Don't sit here crying about it.
Right.
Them tears ain't gonna get it done.
Yeah. And I think you have to have ingenuity. Like you can't be depending on a path that's already forged. You have to you have to think and
Oh
strategize
man.
and scheme and take
Yeah.
risks and try one thing. And if that's not working, try another thing. You have to you have to have an active kind of style. If you're hustling and you can't talk to people, you're not comfortable talking to people,
Right.
then you may not. The hustling lifestyle may not be for you.
Absolutely. But that's one of the main things for me. Do people understand how many things I've tried and failed, but I never quit? That's the difference with me. I will never quit doing what I want to do. Because at 15 years old, I said I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I wanted to have a bunch of different businesses under the same umbrella. You know what I mean? So, and I said that at 15. So I never quit. I had the moving company, I had the cable company, I had the paper boy job, I had that job where I used to sell encyclopedias in the parking lot. I had the job where they used to sell cologne in the parking lot. I did all these things. You know what I mean? And I just don't quit. And now look at me. The people be like, "Oh, you, and why didn't you?" And this and that. It's like, nah, you gotta have intestinal fortitude. You gotta have that grit.
Yeah.
You gotta have
Call it
intestinal fortitude. Absolutely. To drive through that when times get tough, when the pandemic hit, all these places shut down. That was my business. That was my money. Oh, what do I do? So, I had thoughts just like other people do. Let me go get a regular job. I applied for Amazon. I got hired for Amazon. And then when they told me about it, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Not even 10 minutes after I said that, I got a call from a friend of mine that said the Olive Branch, and I'm saying their name because their name ain't the Olive Branch no more, is looking for a DJ. I talked to the owner, and boom, 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 boom. I got there that one day. I did the one day. He was like, how many more days can you be here? So I was there almost every day of the week. And that's where my income came from not having that income no more. That's where it came from. So I'm definitely grateful for the Olive Branch for that opportunity, for helping me get through the pandemic. And then everything else came from there. People coming in, they still getting married. They still having birthday parties. I started doing, I was one of the first ones here to do outdoor DJing. I would just go out in front the house and start DJing. You know what I mean?
That's ingenuity.
Right.
That's doing what you love, putting what you love before the money. Because a lot of people, if they don't see how the money is coming in, they're not going to try it. And what Boom is talking about is being active and having your energy going, because energy begets energy.
Yep.
Man.
Well, I'm one of those people that if I don't see the dollar, then I will not mess with it. You're right about that. I've tried everything under the sun to make a dollar, like Boom. But I've watched my family members hustle. That's where I got it from. Some of my cousins, man, were some of the best hustlers, and I don't mean side hustling. I mean hustlers I've ever seen. They could use their mouths like weapons. I mean, they were just good at talking, and they could talk people out of things and into things, and wow, and get things done. And I learned from them, and I learned my appreciation for making your own money from a white person. I'm gonna be honest. I never really had that. Of course, work, but having a side hustle and making your own money was different for me. But I learned that from a white dude, a foreigner who came to this country with nothing and managed to make a pretty good life for himself. He taught me the value of getting out here and doing things on your own. I watched that man sell garbage. I'm not even kidding. Stuff we would throw in the dumpster. I'm watching this dude sell his stuff. After that, I was hooked. I'm so against.
Ingenuity.
I am so for people getting out there and making it on their own, if possible. Not like I think somebody said, not everybody has that, but if you can do it, it is the most fulfilling thing in the world. Plus, it breaks you free for those chains of 9 to 5 all the time.
I think a lot of people have it, and because of their upbringing, they're afraid to unleash it.
Fear.
You know what I mean?
It's scary.
Go to school, graduate, go to college, get something from college, graduate college, meet your college sweetheart there, get married, blah blah blah. Like that's the steps that people are taught to take in life, and that's how they become miserable because they're doing things that they do not want to do. I never wanted to instill that on my children. I always wanted my children to make that right. Make your own way. Make your own security. I'm very secure in what I have. People just don't understand. I work hard every day. So the days that I get that I can just chill, I chill. But I work hard every day. There's not one day that goes by that I'm not working. Because I started making my own flyers. I guess you can call that a side hustle now too, and selling these clothes. Because none of this was started to do it. I didn't make this stuff to sell it. I made it to brand myself. And people said, oh, I want one. Oh, I want one. Oh, I want one. So out the door they go. But so that's a side hustle. Now I'm delivering the Hello Fresh packages on my mornings when I'm not doing nothing. I'm making flyers for other people now. And can you make my flyer? What do you charge? I'm like, I don't know. And I never made it for nobody else. I was only making it for me. So now I'm doing that as well. So there's a lot that I do in a day to make things go the way they go. So people just see the chain and they see the truck and they see you got this house and blah, blah, blah. Oh, you getting paid. I heard somebody told me the other day, I heard you on the radio. Let me hold something. Just because I'm on the radio doesn't mean I got paid to be on the radio. I literally did that as a free thing for a friend of mine. But automatically the thinking of people is, oh, I hear him on the radio. He gotta have money. And I'd just be like,
Yeah, you know what? Boom, you bring something up for me. Many of the things that I've done, which I might term my work or even my hustle, I did it because I enjoyed it. I wasn't thinking of how much money I was going to make. And then, someone says, "Oh, you're an astrologer? How much you charge?" Nothing. Wait a minute, $25. So when I started doing charts, I made 25. I might make $25. And sometimes the people would walk out the door and I would close it and then count to 10 and run out and go to Key Food, get some food. That $25 came in handy, and then it became $50, and then it became $75 and $100 and $150. And I'm thinking of raising my prices.
You should. Everything's going up in this country. I'm going to say for people who consider themselves hustlers, the hustling never stops. It never stops. I'm constantly thinking about how to make $1. If I could think of any way to make $1, I'm gonna do it. That's just how I'm wired now. And it just never stops. Another hustle from back in the day. That still goes on. That still goes on to this day in our communities. I don't know about white communities, but definitely in our communities, is selling dinners. Fish dinners, chicken dinners. I got a friend right now. Next weekend, they doing a seafood dinners. I'm definitely getting some plates. That's another side hustle that our people would do when they needed to pick up a few extra dollars. And so shout out to Big Casey. They got a fish fry coming up. I will be there. I'm getting my plate. Believe that. Me and my wife. 2 of them, 3 of them.
Oh, I like that. But Shaheem,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you out. You
Okay.
up here on this podcast just a lying.
Oh
Okay.
man. Okay. About
And
what?
weightless.
Okay.
Weightless. You didn't do weightless initially to get rich.
No.
You're hustling weightless. Are you making money from weightless? And if you are, I'll send you my Venmo. But
Not yet. Waitlist is not going to be released for sale. I'm sorry to talk over you.
we hustle ideas as well.
Mhm.
You know, it's not just hustling for money. Sometimes it's hustling because you have a certain point of view that you think is important and you want the world to hear it.
Maybe for some people, but no, for me, Waitlist. First of all, music is my passion.
Hmm.
Passion. And yeah, I do want to make money at it. Waitlist won't be released for sale. I had to push back the release date for sale until February 14th on Valentine's Day. Now, because there's another song added to the EP.
So listen,
And my hope is to make money.
what she's saying though is you didn't make Waitlist to make money. You didn't make it for that. You made it because you're passionate about music.
I'm passionate about music at first, but my hope is to make money.
The result of doing it is you can make money off of it. But you would be satisfied with that song if you didn't make one dime off of it.
No, you would. You want the money.
I don't know about that, but I get what you guys are saying, but I don't know about that. Don't ever think that I don't love money. I absolutely 100% love money. But music is my passion. I've been writing songs since I was a kid. It's as natural as breathing to me. So I will make songs to the day I die, but my hope is to make money doing it.
Do you love money or do you love the things money can buy? Do you love the power that having money gives you over your life? Because money
I
by
like to know. I
itself.
want to be honest with you. There's a number of things. I love the feeling of making money. Almost like a challenge. I like the independence and freedom that having it gives you. And plus, I like to have money because it gives me the money to do other things. It allows me to do other things. Yes, I'm not. I'm just not to sit on your butt type of person. I'm just not. I will always be into something.
Well, I've done so many things that didn't monetarily compensate me that helped me become the official DJ Boom. When I first started, I've done projects for free, whole 4-hour parties. So my idea wasn't, they'll pay me whatever. My idea was to just get my name out there.
That's part of the game.
And then being in that, people will say, "Oh, do you do birthday parties or do you do baby showers? You do." So if I went to a party and I did that party for free, and then I got 5 clients out of that party, essentially I got paid for it, but I didn't do the party to get paid. I didn't even put up a tip jar. So, I didn't do it to get paid. I met a lot of awesome people from doing stuff like that as well. Now, not so much so that I do the charity types of things, but I will, because I 100% want to find some way to go DJ for the Shriners Institute, for the kids that are locked in, that can't come out. I just want to go DJ for them.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Somehow, I don't know how to set that up though. I got to figure out how to do it, but I've been wanting to do that for years. Even the regular hospitals, is going to the kids' wards, and because kids love karaoke, just to get on the microphone and yell, even if they don't know the song. So just to give them some positive energies. And I wasn't going to do that for no money. I was just going to do it. Now, if they say, "Oh, well, no, we'll pay you for it," then great, you'll pay me for it. But I really was just going to do that just because I wanted to do it.
I'm gonna. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Debbie.
Well, I'll make it quick. When I was younger, well, when I was on unemployment at one point, I would volunteer because work begets work, right? So I would
Mm.
say, hey, I work for free. And almost every time when I went into a place that might not have hired me if I had sent them my resume, they
Mhm.
end up, they see how good I am, and I put everything into it. I don't say, well, I'm volunteering, so I'm just going
Right.
to, do a little bit. I do what I would do if I was making big money, and inevitably, that's how I've gotten most of my jobs in life, through volunteering, through what they call working for free.
You got a network. That's part of it. That's part of hustling. You got a network, which brings us back to what we talked about earlier about the ability to talk to people. So
Mm-hmm.
important. So important. I want to bring you guys back in time for another minute. To a side hustle from back in the days. You guys might probably remember that. Do you guys remember Avon parties or Tupperware parties?
Yes.
Yes,
I remember
yes,
those.
Where all the women would get together at somebody's house, serve
yes,
coffee, sandwiches, or something, and the Tupperware would come out, and, and all the Avon products would
Yes,
come out.
I remember that. I remember
yeah.
the Herbalife, uh,
Herbalife,
the herb,
sex
um,
toys.
yeah.
Sex
Well,
that still goes on.
I was
I
gonna
don't know
say,
about
well,
the Tupperware parties,
the sex
but the
toys
sex
still go
things
on.
is still big.
The Avon still go on.
It still goes
Avon,
on.
yeah,
Yeah,
Avon still, yeah,
absolutely.
Avon still, yep, it's
No
still
way.
goes on. Yeah,
I thought that was out.
No,
we're just not in that network, so we don't know.
we don't know about it.
But
Yeah.
yeah, they still go on. Absolutely, they still go on.
There's
We see
other
Hmm.
cosmetic companies that do that now. I forget. Does Estee Lauder? No, not another
Mary
cosmetic.
Kay,
Mary Kay
Mary
does
Kay.
that.
Yep. Yeah, Mary Kay. Yep.
and there's a black company, and I don't happen to know its name, that has the same marketing
You're right.
process.
There is. I've heard of them. I'm gonna have to do some research and give people the name later on. But there is a black company. You're right.
Hmm.
I wouldn't have
Yep.
thought people were so comfortable with having people in their house. But of course, you invite your friends and stuff. You invite
Right.
people you know. You don't
Mhm.
invite strangers to your house.
I
Right.
invite strangers to my house all the time pre-COVID. I would do a workshop. I would announce it. I would put it on Instagram and Facebook and email, and I would have strangers come to my house.
Okay.
I wasn't scared.
Let
Well,
me
you're
tell you
tough.
something.
Maybe I
I'm
didn't
more
have enough
nervous
sense to be scared, but
because let me tell you some real stuff. I'm more nervous about people that I know than people that I don't know,
yeah,
and that's just being honest. Like I people just are unpredictable. People are people, and they're just unpredictable. We got
yeah.
certain members of our crew that I won't. They won't know where I live. You know, and I'm just like, nope, I'm good. I'll let a stranger come over here before I let some of them come over
Nah,
here.
I definitely don't have that. Strangers don't come to my house. I will let them know at the door, straight up. I don't play that. But that's me. I don't trust people like that. You don't come to my house. I will definitely meet you at the door, and you will not like what you see. So for people out there playing on, don't first of all, don't you probably don't know where I live at. But if you do, don't come over my house without
Well,
being
yeah,
announced.
don't come over mine either, not announced, but in my hustle, giving
Right,
workshops was one
right,
of my hustles.
right. Well,
So,
we're doing
so,
workshops, so that's understandable.
I have to have courage. I can't be afraid. And so I've done workshops for 15, 20 years, and I've never had anybody steal anything from me, at least not that I noticed. And I
Yeah, well,
lost.
no, and I'm happy that things worked out for you, man. I could have, God, in today's
Yeah.
world, I don't know if I'd be doing that, but I'm glad
Well,
everything worked out for you. And doing workshops, I can understand why you would do that, but wow, not me.
Well, most of my astrological people are referred to me. But one time, some man, I don't know where he was from, he found me and he wanted a reading, and I had him come to my house. Um, so while he was there, I said, I had Ken call. Oh, hi, Ken. Oh, yeah, no, my client is here. I gotta go. My
Yeah.
client, da 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 da, is here. I hang up and he said, "Oh, what are you doing? You just want to make sure." that you're saying. Like,
Hell yeah.
yes, you
Yes.
on me. Yes. So somebody
Yes.
knows you're here.
She
Yes.
said,
You gotta do things to protect yourself. Because
as,
people.
as a hustler, that is definitely something that I have to take into consideration. But so you telling me if somebody wanted to buy a hazy tray, you won't let them come to your house and buy a hazy tray?
Why they gotta come to my house?
How else they
They
gonna
can
get it?
order it right over the internet. Why would they ever have to come to my house? That's not the way that works. You order over the internet, I mail it to you.
I have a homeboy. I have a homeboy that, to me, I just feel like energy begets energy. So you kind of draw stuff to you with the energy that you have. It's not particularly you. I'm just using the term you. So my homeboy walks around with a gun everywhere, everywhere. So he came over here, and I don't care that he has it. We got a gun here too, but we're sitting out back on my patio. Like, why you feel like you have to have a gun sitting here?
Yeah.
But every time I turn around, he has a story of some sort of negative interaction with something. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's something physically harmed him, but it's always some sort of negative story. Somebody just happened to be driving by his house and they shot the house. Why? All these houses on your block, they shot your house. Somebody just happened to be walking by and they stopped and they looked at your house. All this was on the camera. He had on the camera. They stopped and looked at your house and walked up to your door. Da, 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 da. That's never happened to nowhere that I've been. Nowhere. That's like, and I live downtown. Like, I never thought about nobody breaking in my car. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying you don't be cautious, but to have that overwhelming sense of I'm just not trusting and da 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 da, you're gonna beget that same sort of energy, and that's why a whole lot of nonsense be coming to people. I was be like, yo, I don't think about that. I think about these stalkers now because the world is crazy.
Well,
But
I
I'm
don't
not
trust
thinking
people like
about
that, and I don't care if they don't trust me. Don't trust me. I don't trust you. No. Strangers, no. But at the same time, I can talk to anybody because you have to fill people out. You know that. But
I've
until
seen more.
I consider you cool, yeah, I keep you at a distance always.
Yeah, I've seen more people that folks know, like we know in the family way. It's way back in the day, when the young lady was murdered. Brenda's sister was murdered.
Mm,
She knew that person.
mm-hmm,
Wasn't no stranger.
There you
mm-hmm.
go.
You know what I
There
mean?
you
So it's
go.
like,
There you go. It's
it's
true.
right. And so it's like, I don't know. I see what you're talking about. It's just that I don't live in a way of I'm just not going to do this because they could do blah 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 blah. Now, even being here where my TV sits in my house, I don't have my blinds open all the time because I don't want people to be able to walk by and see this big TV sitting here. You know what I mean? But listen, if you want to
Mm.
take the chances on going for it, go ahead, go for it. I don't have time to stress out about what you might do in here. As I said, it's people that I know that I'd be leery about more than strangers. I feel like strangers will respect me of that much more than people that I know.
Well, we're different.
Yeah, we know that.
That's just it. I ain't having that. But like I said, I could talk to anybody because well, you got to talk to people if you're gonna hustle. And I know a lot of people, but I just keep people at a distance. In today's world, it seems like everybody has a side hustle, and is it more out of a necessity than anything else? Because it is tough to make it out here. I know people are doing all kinds of things for extra money.
I
Even the
think
lady who makes the trades for me, that's her side hustle. That's not her real job. That's someone personally makes those trades for me, by the way.
right.
Now that ain't no big company. That's her side hustle, and she does a lot of other things. I should have put her site up to help her out. That's my bad. I'll get you next week.
Well, I think it's 50-50 with that though. I think some of it is necessity and some of it is just people wanting to express themselves and their upbringing
They're
prevented
passionate,
them from doing that.
maybe.
So now they're kind of slowly stepping out and doing the things that they were passionate about or that they love to do. So I think it's 50-50. I think some of it is necessity. I think some of it is
Yeah. I feel cautious about saying that it's so difficult out here today,
Mm.
because there's a whole lot more going on in the world than what you see. And
Of
so
course.
you want to tune into the ease. And I think it's probably our idea of struggling and working hard in a way that is too hard is what it makes us have to do it, because we're told, you got to work hard. Well, not all of the people who so-called make it have worked hard. They've loved what they're doing. When I love what I'm doing, I don't even call it anything. I don't call it working hard. I call it, digging what I'm doing. And I think that the concept that we have to struggle is a consciousness that causes us to have to struggle more. What if it's easy? What if it can be easy? I think it can
I
be.
don't know if it's easy for anybody, but
Well, we're
you
three
know,
people, right? The
mhm.
whole world, like for example, I know people who want to be filmmakers, and especially back in the day when we only had the movies, people would say, "Oh, it's hard to be a filmmaker." But there were always people who made films and made money. You may not have heard about them. They may have only had two houses as opposed to five,
right.
right? They may have only been able to go on two vacations as opposed to four, but they were doing what they love. And so it's not hard. Do it. It's not hard to do it.
Yeah, I think
If your expectations are narrow and they're not met right away, then you say it's hard. Boom.
I don't feel like being a DJ is hard. And I'll meet people that say they want to know how to DJ, but they think it's hard. Like, why do you automatically set yourself up with this frame of mind of it's hard?
Mhm,
Try it. Give it a
mhm,
shot. Now, there are different levels of DJing to me. There's DJs that want to be show DJs. That's
mhm.
the ones that spin around, they can stand on their hand and spin it and blah blah blah, do all this mixing, scratching, all that type of stuff. Fantastic. I call them a show DJ. Go do that. That's what you want to do. Yeah, it's gonna take some training, blah 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 blah, but it's still not hard.
Well,
Uh-huh.
the physical act of doing it may not be hard, especially to you after doing it for so long. It could come with ease, but the struggle can be real at times. I'm sure, like going through COVID was a little bit of a struggle for you.
But see, that's a different.
Well, that's a
That's what I'm saying.
different
My
kind of
frame of
struggle.
mind
Well,
doesn't
that's the
think.
point I'm trying to make.
Oh,
That's exactly the point I'm trying
I
to make.
mean, when I became an artist, so I had this idea to be an artist, and I was already old. At least I thought I was old. I was 35, and I couldn't draw a lick. Still can't. Hats off to Laquan, my nephew Laquan, who's a brilliant artist.
Mm.
Um, but I thought, oh my God, I can't be an artist. I'll starve, because I was brought up with the notion of starving artists. And
mhm.
so then once I said, but my soul wants to make art, and I made art. I didn't make it with the point of view of being an exhibiting artist who was in a major New York institution, whose work has been in national publications. When you start something, I didn't start out saying, I want to be in the New Yorker magazine. I want to be in the Schomburg. You don't, you say, I love this. And then next thing I know, somebody called me and said, could you be in a show? I'm like, show, what does that mean? And now I'm an exhibiting artist. Don't none of y'all ask me for no money or for free art. But that now I make money from my art. But I didn't make art to make money. I made it because it made my heart sing.
Well, that's a passion. Same thing with DJing is to you, Boom. Those are passions. It's
Well,
easier
it's
when you're
also
passionate
a
about something.
hustle. I mean, it could be
Yeah,
seen
it's
as
also a
I
hustle,
don't think
but
all
it's
hustles
a little
are about
different and
making
easier
money.
for you when it's the passion, when you're passionate about it.
Okay,
But
that's a good point.
DJing
That's a
wasn't
great
something
point.
that I'm
Point.
passionate about me. So because I'm DJing, I'm gonna be passionate about DJing, but I'm passionate about me. So I'm not
Passionate.
that stereotypical DJ that is late because I've heard that before I started DJing. DJs are always late. The party started at 8 o'clock. They show up at 7:30. That's late. To me, in my mind, that's late. Yeah, you was there before the party started, but people shouldn't be walking into a party with you still setting up. That shouldn't happen. That's late.
Mm, mm,
That's late.
You shouldn't walk into a party smelling like weed. You know what I mean? Or alcohol.
mm,
Like you smell like you was drinking a whole bottle of
mm,
vodka before you walked in here. Now you're walking in here to set up to a party, blah, blah, blah. All that. You dress the part. You going to do a wedding? I'm not going to dress like this going to do somebody's wedding. I'm going to
mm.
dress the part. A lot of people don't do that. So I'm passionate about me. And whatever I'm doing, I become passionate about.
Well,
This podcast. I'm
you go
passionate.
ahead.
I'm passionate about this podcast because we started doing it. You know what I
And
mean?
we
We're
ought to make
doing
money.
it, you know, at some point, I guess.
Wait. Is there money in this? Because I haven't gotten a dime. You
Not
know,
yet. It's costing money right now, but the hope
I'm
is
passionate about it. I fixed my hair today. I put on a little eye stuff, you know, because
Right. Right.
got on my necklace.
The idea of hustling is
Mm,
100%, like you said, having a passion for what you're doing. But you got to have a passion for yourself because I
yes.
don't want to be represented in certain ways. I don't want to be seen in that light. I don't want to be that stereotypical DJ guy. I don't want that. So there's things that I just don't do, and there's things that I do probably more than others because of it. You know, and that doesn't make me better than them. As I put my post on social media saying that I'm in competition with no one but myself, just to be a better version of me every day. And that's why I signed a Sincerely DJ Boom, because people will come at me like, you think you're better because you're doing it? It has nothing to do with being better. I know I could tell you PJ is a better DJ than me to me. The girl that DJ'd my wedding is a better DJ to me. You know what I mean? Where other people might have another opinion, but they're better DJs to me. Point blank period. Y'all talk to the people, y'all get on the mic, y'all do this, y'all do that. Cole will get on the floor and dance with these folks. I'm not doing none of that. I
We're
barely even talk on the
different.
mic.
They're not better. I won't stand for you to say anybody is better because
But it's
you're a great. But what you're talking about is having integrity for whatever you do. So if it's doing flyers for people, you probably have integrity about how you approach it. I've done some typing as a side hustle, but I had integrity and always did the very best I could.
I went to hang somebody's TV that was already hung, but they wanted to move it to another wall. So somebody else hung the TV at first. So now I'm taking it off the wall to re-hang it somewhere else. And when they put the brackets on the back of the TV, the brackets was loose. Da 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 da. I can't leave this like that. This is not because I want you to look at me and say, "Oh, I was the best guy to hang your thing." No, it's me. I can't consciously know that those things was loose and I hung that on your wall, and it's a possibility that could fall off. You got a
You
young
care.
kid.
You
I,
care.
right. I can't do that.
Care.
So
well,
I'm not going to do things a certain way. When I was a cable technician, I would go in people's houses and the wires be crazy in their house. Like, I'm only there to give you an internet box. I'm not even there to fix your wire, but I can't leave this looking a mess like
Wow.
this. I gotta fix this. It's gotta look right. And it's not for you to call my boss and say, "Hey, that guy is an A1 technician." No, it's because I don't want to see it like that. I'm gonna
and
leave
I'm
your house
sure
the
those
way I want
customers
my house to look.
appreciated it too. As far
Yeah.
as me, when it comes to this hustling thing, and then I'm gonna start to wrap it up. When it comes to this hustling thing, I see myself like I don't know, maybe like Jay-Z or Master P, in the sense that even if I'm filthy rich, I would never stop.
Right. It won't stop.
I would never stop. I love it, to be honest with you.
Right.
Even with all of its challenges, I like being able to get out there and make $1 on my own without someone's help or whatever, or getting a check from the government or getting a check from a job. I can make it happen, and that makes me feel good. And that's me.
And kudos to the people who have 9-to-5s. It takes
Oh, yeah.
a lot of integrity, discipline, probably even a hustle. You have to get along with people. You are often working for people who aren't half as smart as you, but you have your goals. And so the 9-to-5 is a means to an end. And I don't want to play that short or play that cheap. If you've got a 9-to-5, I get a government check now. It's called Social Security. and baby, I love it.
Yeah, I know that's right. You earned it. You earned it. So listen, go ahead, Boom. I'm sorry.
I just want to say this in musical form.
Life is what you make it. That's right. Try to make it out there, everybody. Even through the hard times, you can do it. Keep your heads up. Keep pushing. And thanks again for joining us today on From the Shore to Be More. We enjoy having you guys with us. Boom, what you got going on this week, buddy?
You know me. I'm doing my thing. DJing now. I have it doesn't start till after the Super Bowl, but I just got hired by TGI Fridays in White Marsh, Maryland.
Congratulations.
On Sundays. Thank you.
Congratulations, man. Yeah.
Because y'all know the saga of the Olive Branch. The Olive Branch has called back again.
Okay.
The new manager quit. I'll tell you all that story off air.
Really?
Right.
I want to hear.
Okay.
Bunch of nonsense. So I will be Tuesday, Wednesday in 7 to 11. Wednesday, I am at Loafers from 7 to 11 or 8 to 12. Thursdays back at the Olive Branch from 7 to 11. And now Fridays, I have a new spot on Fridays in Owings Mills, but I'll be working there on Fridays and Saturdays, doing karaoke on Fridays and R&B Saturday nights on Saturday. So that's my weekly.
Congratulations, though, man. Cause you're the hardest working DJ in the business, man. Good deal.
I'll be trying.
Good deal. You be doing it. You be doing it. How about you, Debbie? What you got going on this week?
Well, I have a few astrology clients this week, and I'm also working on an exhibition that'll take place in, I think it's April. So I'm in the studio.
I know that's
all right. Keep him busy.
What you got, cuz?
The same old stuff for me. First, I want to remind everybody that they can check out the show during the week on all streaming platforms. You catch us on your way to work, driving the kids to school, wherever. On all streaming platforms, you catch us, and catch us on our YouTube channel too, please. And don't forget to subscribe. We love you guys. We enjoy you guys sharing your Sundays with us, and we'd appreciate you letting us know what you'd like to hear for in this upcoming year. We want to definitely give you guys the content that you guys want.
And we got to get the champs back on here. The champs, they're ready to get their title. Let's see who's going to be brave enough to come up against them.
and for people out there who want to join the Battle of the Ages show, there is a prize. You can win $50 if you can beat the champs. So I just want to put that out there. As far as me personally, as you all know, I have new music coming out, new videos, everything's in the works. Everything will be released, and I'll put out the flyers and give you all the information when it's all settled on Valentine's Day, February 14th. And that's what I got going on. Check me out on my YouTube channel too. And please subscribe. Feel free. And that's it.
Absolutely, y'all. And I want y'all to have a fantabulous week. From the official DJ Boom.
The one and only Shaheem.
Deborah Singletary, a.k.a. Aunt Debbie.
Be out there, make it do what it need to be done, and that's all you need to do, y'all.
We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for sharing your Sunday with us. Have a good day.